can't believe she is wearing our sweater. Use your phone and click on that. Tell me what you find. I want to test drive it, just make sure it doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. Oh, that's kind of cool. If you saw our K-Sight, the all-wheel drive one, we end up changing the dash to blue on that car. So it's got definitely a positive feeling, even without alignment. This is something you've got to do. This is the 26-piece set right here, so they all come separated in bags. I usually like to lay them out so I can see exactly what's going on, just make sure they're all accounted for. I'm not trying to push these bushings on you because we don't exactly enjoy doing them. It can be really time consuming, and of course it's a dirty job, but what a difference. Especially on a car that's 20 years old. It gives it that new feel. It really does. I'm not going to put my seatbelt on because I'm not going to go far, but just that response. I'm just going to go over a couple of bumps, settle the suspension, look everything over. Everything is good. There's no funny squeaks or rattles. Definitely needs an alignment, but you know what? It is definitely tighter feeling. Surprised we have an S2000 in the shop. This one is getting the upper control arm offset bushings. I'll show you those in a second. We did Olin's on this the last time it was here. He's got new wheels and tires since it was here. I'll show you those in a second. It's also getting a titanium exhaust. You want something a little quieter? We're going to put an LHT titanium twin loop on this to reduce the sound because this thing makes too much racket. We're also going to go over his tune. He's had it tuned by someone. Ooh, I shouldn't have shown you that. We're going to go over it, make sure the tune is good, and see if we can make him a little bit more power. Let's show you the rest of the list. Rigid collars, bump steer, new fender liners, offset bushings, which just talked to you about, Flash Pro tune, and he has an LHT shift boot. So he ordered this in the store, and it's actually kind of interesting to see how well our shipping holds up. That is how Astra shipped it. Let's see what color it is. There you go, red stitched. It's our best seller in the store. We sell more of these than any of the others, but we also have blue, yellow, silver, and of course black stitched. These are the fender liners we just took out. He has new ones, which are pretty pricey because the shipping is expensive on these. When you find them online and they look like a really good deal, by the time you get the shipping, some of that big deal goes away because look how big it is, and they tend to fold them flat, which can distort them. We lay them out in the sun and it helps them come back to the original shape. Subframe bushings by Spoon. They essentially fill in the hole between the bolt and the tube on the subframe, which is these bolts right here. There's 6 in the front, 4 in the back. It's essentially a tube that fits up in there. You got to drop the subframe. You got to be really careful to make sure they line up in there. Very easy to get those damaged. The Delrin bushings, we typically freeze them overnight. It makes it install a little bit easier. You push the old bushings out. These will almost push in by hand and gives you a little bit of room to get them lined up perfectly. And then of course you have to drill them, tap, and put the set screw in there. This prevents that bushing from twisting. And don't forget the Loctite. You don't want that little grub screw backing out. The bumper brace is back in stock. If you want to see what this is for, see the bumper, see how it has that like belly right here? What happens is the wind catches this, grabs this, pulls it down and bends it more and more, and we've actually seen like the vibration from this thing shaking, and it will actually crack the paint. So the idea of this is it replaces those clips right there. It comes with stainless hardware and it bolts across there. We're doing a titanium exhaust with the stock tips. These are the tips they supplied. Well, our exhaust is going to be really pretty, so we're thinking we'll refinish these before we put them on our exhaust, because we want the whole thing to look nice, and of course we want him to be excited about it. So we're going to go ahead and take all of that dirt and rust out of there, refinish it in ceramic black, and then polish the outsides. You guys picked up that welder and chucked it? This was you guys. It's all bashed in.
It didn't pass. I need to pack it better. So what is that? A helmet?
No, it's the cover from the side of the welder.
No, it's a welder.
That's what I'm saying. It's the
put a
welder.
sticker on it.
You remember how heavy that welder is and you dragged it through there? It's because you chucked it off back of the truck.
Put a sticker on it and be done.
What, it says heavy?
Yeah, it says dead.
It says heavy.
Put one of those Band-Aid stickers.
Of course, you got to blame the guy that brings it, which is Bruce. We don't care about the other 12 people who handled it. It's just him. He's the guy that broke it. So we called Everlast. The sent us one right out.
Look at that.
Looks like the right part.
It's all intact.
Oh, nice. All right. Last thing about these guys is you call them, you can actually talk to a person, they send you the part, you can fix it yourself. That's a whole lot better than going to see that dude down the street and paying him $2 grand. Nice thing about these tips, they can be refinished. You can make them pretty much look like brand new. So the outside, we used the polishing compound. I used the black compound because it's pretty heavy. The inside, of course, you got to sand it, get all of the rust off there, get it clean, and then you can refinish that in a high temp black ceramic. And look how much better this looks. Whole titanium exhaust, twin loop. We want to make this as quiet and as stealthy as possible and keep it with that OEM appearance. Use this end of your trim tool, makes it a little bit easier. Fits right in here without scratching the leather. And pull up on there. And sit around here. Just use the 90-degree end. Find it to where your clip is. Pulls up, makes it much easier. Figured we'd show you this. I've done a couple of how-to videos. George is going to do this one. Hopefully you watched our how-to video, George. If not, you're going to get all kinds of messed up.
Can you send me a link?
You'll be putting that thing upside down and backwards and scratching it. So this is the easier one. The AP2s are easier than the AP1. But I've had a couple of people that still tell me, hey, I got this halfway in, I had a hard time. This is aftermarket. It's thicker than the factory one. The factory one is really, really thin. So this bend here, obviously it goes down and kind of rolls over this. We'll show you. This is genuine leather. Where will you get this? These smell terrific. It's worth it just in the smell. So it takes a little bit more work, but it's not that hard. So we'll show you what to take off, show you how to do it, show you a couple of tips and tricks. The screws that you're going to remove are obviously these two for this retainer clip right here, but you're also going to take the two for the switches that is going to open up two little spots for two more screws. I don't think you can get this out without taking the switches out. So you can see how this goes on. You see the pins, so make note there is 3 on one side. All the other sides have 4, so make sure you locate that on the new boot. It's pretty obvious, but it's always best just to take a look ahead of time. See, we've got 4, 4, and then 3 right here. See, this is actually an aftermarket one, so it's definitely a thicker material. Plus, it's got that leather look in there. It's just hard. It's just like gum plastic. This is something that you've got to really use, like a leather conditioner, to keep it soft and supple. If not, it does that. Same as the seats. Just gets really stiff. So that's what it should look like when you put it in there. You see it rolls around the edges. Use these little clips to hold it down. This wants to stay within that portion right there so it doesn't stick up from the other side. And then you're going to put it back together. All right, that's snapped in. Let's take a quick look, make sure everything looks okay. There you go. You see, you don't want any leather sticking out between this gap right here. This will tighten up once you screws it back in, but you see how nice that fits. Fits absolutely perfect. There it is. Look how nice that looks. Beautiful. So that's what it does. It kind of rolls downwards, and you just kind of put it to shape. I wanted to bring this to your attention. This is a discovery we made last night. I picked my son up, and he goes and looks in here and said, wow, well, your paint is lifting. It's all fuzzy. It's like something's dripped on the paint. And if you look at that, it's down to bare metal. and I'm looking. I mean, I carry things in the truck. I tend to put it in the bed. You know, I don't do anything here. And it was oily last night, and I thought it was brake fluid. And I'm sitting there looking everywhere, trying to figure it out. This is the only thing I have on this side is off. And at first I picked this up and I look at this and it's dry, and I go, well, it can't be that. And I look back under here and I look under there, and of course I just wiped that with my finger and it took the paint off. It's down to bare metal, same as here. And it's just puzzling. Well, we looked at it again. I lifted this up and checked it. It's dry all the way around. I look on the bottom and it's like a little bit corroded right there. Well, this stuff has been leaking, coming out under the label. It went in there, look. This is the oily kind of substance that I found on the paint. And what it done, sound really intelligent, don't I? What has happened is it has ran through there, dripped out of here, ran and come out of this seam right here. There's a couple of areas that it's wet, and it's dripped on the paint and completely lifted the paint. So if you guys carry this in your car, which being in Florida, we're always surrounded by mosquitoes. I take my kids somewhere, it's into the park, it's into the beach. I tend to have this so I can give them a quick spray. That's a PSA. I'm gonna have to get that fixed. That is, let me tell you, it ruined my night. It didn't just ruin my night, it made me feel sick to my stomach. As goofy as I am, I keep this clean and wax it. It's dirty right now, but I take care of my truck. That's really, really sucky, but at least we found out what it was. All right, let's hear the cold start. It's actually pretty mellow. It actually is considered, it doesn't have one of those things that connect between the header and the exhaust. He didn't have that, and they actually do a good job at taking some of that noise out. Okay, we're on the dyno. We're up to temperature. We've got all the fans running. We're going to do a baseline and see where it's at. It does have a tune in it from somebody did a remote. I think it was somewhere else. I can't remember the state that it was done. So it's always best to do a one-on-one tune, see how much negative candle we've got now on those front wheels. Just give them a little bit of room. I'm ready when you are. Power. I don't like this. It's good power though. 219. Let's take a look at this right here. Let's just clean it up a little bit just so we can see what's going on. Yeah, look at the air fuel. It's not good. Pretty good power. Alright, let's record this. We're just putting in one of our tunes. See how good this is. It's got a teeny battery, so we have to put the charger on it while we're uploading the tune. These things don't have much in reserve. Quite a bit through the mid-range. So it's got a really efficient intake. This right here is all scoop right here. So it's taking a lot more fuel than normal. Intake temps. They're sitting at 93. When it's 90 degrees, that intake really works. You ready? Look at that intake. intake than radiator. That was quick. Wow. Some good gains. Let's see if we can bring out the first one. I mean, look at that. That's some decent horsepower pretty much everywhere. The graphite looks kind of weird. You see how lean it was? I mean, it was on the 14 line. I mean, look at that mid-range. That is massive right there. Look at that. So we have a few tricks that we play with timing and the way we bring on the throttle angle, but that makes a huge gain. Look at that. So we have the VTEC over here, the way he had it set. We leave the VTEC a little longer and add time in front. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You guys know how to tune. I'm going to do a sound clip from the back of the car so you can hear what our TwinLoop sounds like. I'm going to step back here so I don't overwhelm the mic. Thing I like about it is it looks pretty much stock. Unless you really know what you're looking for. It looks super stealth. And it's light. So it sounds good and we definitely picked up some power. The intake is louder than the exhaust. That's kind of what it sounded like on the dyno. Unless I got behind the car, all I could hear was intake. So that's good. The other one was a little loud. He said he got complaints at the autocross of the other exhaust. So this shouldn't give him any complaints. The intake is louder than anything.
Yeah.
You know what, let me go for a ride along. See if we can get some good sound clips when we put the window up.
The tent's nice.
Yeah. It's super quiet.
Yeah, it is. Across the road there.
Yep. If you come to visit us, so many people say, I feel like I gotta drive this road when they come around here. Just if you do go down here, the guy on the end with all those cars, just respect him. Don't go by his house doing a buck 10. Not to mention, if you do, you probably will stop at the other end and you'll go meet that guy in the grey house.
Yeah. Yeah, that Altima's gone.
Oh yeah, well maybe he's out then.
That was it, or the bank came back and got it finally.
Yeah, the bank goes, there's the car. And he goes, all right, I'll mow the grass now. Look at that, he's mowed the grass.
See if I can do a U-turn here. And if it was my car, I couldn't.
This one feels peppy.
Yeah.
See, based on S2000s, they're all a little bit different. I remember mine was one of the lowest horsepower S2000s just right out the get-go. So we picked up a lot of power on my car, mainly because it didn't make much to start with. But some of them really stand out. This one does. There's a bit way up. Yeah, this one motors. This one feels real good. Should take the Nomad for a ride so he sees these cars all the time.
See what we do over here?
Yeah, see if we can impress him.
I feel like the mailman had like a 68 Camaro that'll jump over a Coke can from a stoplight. He's that kind of guy.
He looks like he would have had that. Alright, this one's done. Guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Don't forget, keep an eye on the channel. You never know what could be on there. Guys, thanks for watching. Do me a favor, hit the share, hit the like, and hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. Also, check out the LHT store. It's open 24 hours a day. The things that we sell in here are the things that we've hand selected and we use in the shop. I don't sell anything that I wouldn't buy myself. This is all in stock. Check it out, lhtperformance.com. And like I always say, enjoy your cars.